Well, the local fishing industry is reeling from the latest tragedy at sea. On Sunday, Trevor Childs and his nephew Nicolas Skinner died while setting lobster pots. Both men were from the south shore of Bay of Islands. Jason Spingle was the FFAW Inshore Council rep for that area for 16 years. He's driving across the island on his way to attend the funeral, and he stopped in Gander to speak with us. Thanks so much for being here, Jason, and so sorry for your loss.
Thank you so much. I guess it was on behalf of all harvesters and all members. We're all deeply, deeply sad and heartbroken, really, by this on so many fronts. And say, on the way now back to the West Coast. The funeral's on Friday, and I'll be attending, I'm sure, with a lot of harvesters from all around the region for sure, to pay our respects to Trevor and Nicolas and their families.
And you knew Trevor Childs personally. What can you tell us about him?
Just a very positive young man. Had a smile on his face most of the time, really soft-spoken. And if he had an issue, he dealt with it in a very direct but calm way, easy to talk to. What I've been thinking about with Trevor is, that smile, the grin, kind of positive grin that if you saw it, would just make you feel better. And just how happy he was about, making a living in his community where he grew up, excited about the fishery. Lobsters were starting to pick up in catch and price. And, we had secured some halibut quota, and just happy about the looking forward to building a life with his family and being a part of the fishing industry.
And of course, he was there in the vessel with his nephew, Nick, who you didn't know, but he was such a young man. And I believe today would have been his 27th birthday.
My understanding is pretty sure 27th birthday today. I don't know if you can make it any more heart-wrenching than it is, Carolyn, but, when I heard that yesterday, that it was Nicholas's birthday today, it's just, I don't know, it's really unbelievable, and I can't get any sadder, but I guess it adds another element to it about the realization of this, right? Should have been fishing today and celebrating his birthday, right?
Right. What have you been hearing about him?
I think it's a lot like his Uncle Trevor, a quiet, friendly young man, really excited about being involved in the fishing industry. As I understand, that his Trevor had taken him under his wing, and he was looking forward to building a career as a professional fish harvester, and being a part of the future of our coastal communities, his communities of Lark Harbour, and it's like I said, to have two young people taken away is, like I said before, every life is precious, but when you're talking about young people, that's many, many decades in front of them to be, unfortunately taken away is, it's a blow. It's a blow in many fronts to the communities, to the region, to our province, really. And we gotta move on, but it doesn't make it any easier for sure.
You mentioned their age, and I'll just say that Trevor was 44 years old, so 44-year-old and 27-year-old taken.
Yeah, and like I said, I mentioned Trevor's children there and his wife, young family, 3 children, two under between 5 and 10, and one, I think their youngest is only 2. So it's certainly everyone's thinking about his wife and his children and his mom and dad and sister there. So I just can't imagine, what they're having to deal with. But we've got to be strong. We've got to help them get through it. That's what we've got to do. But it's going to be a tough season for everyone, I think, on the West Coast. In many respects for harvesters everywhere. This seems like, I think it is too, the most of our members, harvesters in particular, that have reached out to me with their condolences and their respects. But it's gonna be a tough year in Lark Harbour and York Harbour, and I guess time will help, but it's going to be very difficult for 2024. That's for sure.
We know that they were out setting lobster pots, but do we know yet what went wrong, or do we have any idea yet about what happened?
I guess the details will come out. The authorities with the province and, federal involved here, the Transport Safety Board, for example, I'm sure will be involved. I'm sure there will be a report at some point, but the vessel capsized and they went in the water, and we know what the temperature of the water is at this time of year. It's literally, even with, and, it's literally minutes that you have to get out of that water before the hypothermia takes away your abilities, right?
Yeah, and as you say, the investigation, I'm sure we'll have all of this information. Do we know if flotation devices were being used?
My understanding, again, this is so given unofficial report, but I believe from a very good source, is that yes, they were both wearing flotation devices. Yeah.
Well, Jason Spingle, it's just such a terrible tragedy, but we really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us, and safe driving on your way to the West Coast.
Thanks, Carolyn. And, like I said, I'm going to attend the funeral on behalf of our membership, and hopefully there's some comfort in knowing that there's so many people that are sharing some of this heartbreak with them, although none of us can really understand it, but we'll do the best we can, and certainly that's what we have to do. So thank you.
Thank you.